Hello everyone, welcome back to my video. Today we will start the regression chapter. Okay, in the previous videos I have completed correlation, central tendency, and the measures of dispersion. Okay, so today we'll start with the regression chapter. Okay, so let's start. Regression analysis. Regression means it involves identifying and evaluating the relationship between dependent variables and one or more independent variables. Okay, independent variables are also called predictor, or we can say explanatory variables. Clear? Now we'll see what is dependent variable and what is independent variable. Then you will be able to understand the regression definition. Clear? See, independent variables means those variables that can be measured directly and used to predict the variable of the dependent variable. Means independent variables do not depend on the other variable. Okay, those variables are measured directly. Clear? I will show you with the example. So let's understand first the term. Okay, what are the terms of independent variable? What is the term dependent variable? Clear? Now we understand dependent variable. Dependent variable means those values which depend on the values of independent variable. Okay. Now see, if we say sales and advertising. Okay. I am taking the example of sales and advertising. Now we'll see how by increasing sales, what will be the effect on advertising. Okay, what will be the effect on advertising? Getting me? See, what I am saying is when we increase sales, okay, when we increase sales, then what will be the effect on advertising? Okay, so what I'm saying that sales is an independent variable because this sales is not depending on any other. Okay, why the advertising will conclude only when the sales will have some value. Okay, will have some value. Means if I say that the sales, if we increase sales by 20 lakh, okay, then what will the effect on advertising? The advertising will also be increased by 12 lakh. Okay, so here the advertising is depending on sales. Clear? So here advertising is a dependent variable. So let's understand the other example. If I say bricks and house, okay, clear? If I say that the bricks needed is 20,000 to build a house, okay, so here bricks is a independent variable because bricks is independent, because bricks is not depending on anyone. But here when the house will be built, if we will have bricks, okay, it will have bricks, so this house is dependent on the bricks. That's why this house will be analyzed as dependent variable and this brick will be independent variable. Okay, now what will be the equation here? House, we are taking out the value of house. Okay, the house is equal to, we can say bricks, okay, bricks plus C, means it is depending on the bricks, it's not the mathematical equation. Okay, I'm just making you understand what is dependent and independent variable, so just take an easy. So this house is depending on the bricks. Okay, so this here bricks is independent and house is dependent. Clear? Now we'll come back to the definition. So it involves identifying and evaluating the relationship between dependent variable and one or more independent Variables. Independent variables can maybe one, more, two, three. Okay, but dependent variable will only one. Okay, if independent variables are more than one, we can say multiple regression analysis. Clear? Okay. Now we'll see what are the objectives of the regression analysis. It helps to develop a linear relationship between a response variable and the explanatory variable for the purpose of prediction. Clear? Assumptions. What are the assumptions for calculating the regression analysis? Clear? The first assumption is the relationship between independent variable, this IV is independent and DV is dependent. Okay. The relationship between independent variable and dependent variable are linear. Okay, I've explained you what is linear correlation. So just make it clear. Expected value of error term is 0. What is expected term 0? I will explain you further. There is no autocorrelation. Any difference between observed and predicted value is 0. Clear? So these are all the assumptions of the regression analysis. Now we'll see what are the properties of the regression analysis. The regression coefficient of y on x is denoted as byx. Means, see, when we say y is equal to a plus bx plus c. Okay, so here what we see is the regression coefficient of y, means coefficient of y. Y is here dependent variable because y will only be conclude when we know the variable of x. Clear? So here x is an independent variable. Fine. So the regression of coefficient of y on x means y which is depending on x. Clear? Is denoted by byx and the vice versa. Clear? That is fine. Now if one regression is greater than 1, the other will be less than 1. Fine. See, for example, if we take an example here, x as 2. Okay, if we take an example at 2 and say here it is 0, the one is 1. Okay, so what the value will come here is 1. When we calculate the value, when we evaluate the equation, we will see that the value of y will be 1. So what we see is if one regression is greater than 1, means here see the 2, the other will be less than 1. See, we see that it is less than 1. Clear? Independent to origin but not to scale. So regression analysis is independent to origin, but it's not independent to scale. Clear? Average mean, arithmetic mean of both regression coefficient is greater than equal to the coefficient of correlation. Clear? You have to learn all these properties. Clear? Geometric mean between the two regression coefficient is equal to correlation coefficient. Fine. So this was all the properties of the regression analysis. Now we'll see the types of regression analysis. There are basically two types. The one is simple and the other is multiple. Simple regression analysis means which assess the relationship between one independent variable and one dependent variable. Clear? Here the formula is y is equal to a plus bx plus e. Clear? This is a this is a standard error. Okay. And a is an intercept, b is the slope, y is the independent variable. This is intercept, this is slope. Okay, this is standard error and this is independent variable. Clear? In the multiple regression, what we say is assess the relationship between various independent variable. In the simple regression, we see that there is only one independent variable, but in multiple, we see that is various independent variable, and the dependent variable will only one. Here the formula is written here. Now we'll see non-collinearity. What is non-collinearity? Independent variables should show minimum correlation with each other. Means independent variables. See, if I say, I write an equation here, y is equal to a plus bx plus e. Okay, when we say that this is independent variable, fine. The independent variable should not show a high correlation with the other variables. Okay, otherwise the value of the y variable will not be valid or not be reliable. Clear? So this was all about the regression analysis. Thank you for watching and hope you have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please do share it and do subscribe it. Bye bye and have a nice day.